You know, I don't really know how to start today's session. I guess I've just been feeling a lot of emotions, which is weird because normally I'm able to show you how I feel and tell you how I feel kind of well, like we're doing these past couple of months. I guess a lot of feelings is over dramatic. I guess I'm just feeling confused. Because right now, my future is just, he's looking at me. He's looking, he's not afraid. He's actually eager and fearless and ferocious and passionate. And the guy looking back, he's none of those things. He's skeptical, and he's healing, and he's in love, and he's processing, and he's grieving, and he's emotional, and he's just a kid. And I think about these two people, and I think to myself, how are these two people ever going to be one? Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine recently about these things, and then she started bringing up the moon and the stars, you know, all that astrology stuff. And she was telling me that because of my sign, I'm kind of like the moon and certain planets, you know. And well, fuck, I didn't believe like half those things. But she said one thing, you know, about the moon. She said the moon represents our spiritual nature and subconscious mind, the unseen things that dictate our actions, that holds our deepest, darkest secrets, and governs our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So I've been sitting in this confusion, and I've been sitting in this impending doom, and I just keep looking to her for guidance. I spend my nights and my days howling at the moon. By God, I hope she howls back. So yeah, that's how I've been doing.
Hi, my name is Miracle Myles. I am a singer, dancer, actor, and a writer, and I reside here in New York City. I just graduated in the spring and relocated here to New York City to pursue my career. What inspired me with IO and bringing it to the monologue was I actually took a little bit of inspiration from the song and one of the lyrics where it talked about the moon, and kind of injected the feeling that that song lyric brought to me, while also bringing in a little bit of my personal story and experience so far as a young adult, and kind of injected those two together and then poured it into the monologue. Three good things that I felt like I did about the monologue was I'm not someone that really writes with, I don't follow a lot of the rules, I guess I would say. And so I felt like with this monologue, I kind of did follow a little bit of the rules. There was a line kind of, and I like, you know, teetered on it, but I felt like there was a clear beginning, middle, and end. And that was something that I was really, really happy to achieve during the monologue. I feel the ending was actually the hardest part, like trying to wrap it all back together. But yeah, I feel like I did that well. I also felt like something that I did well was tying in the metaphor of the moon and, you know, really showing what my character's state of mind was like at that time, while also, you know, drawing off my inspiration of the song lyric and the moon. The last thing that I felt like I did really well was kind of making the chaos that I kind of was writing. The monologue is very kind of spirally in a way, and I felt like I was able to organize that chaos of the spiraling of my character really well, while also still like presenting a clear beginning, middle, and an end. One thing that I wish I could have worked on or done better at in my monologue was I wish I would have been able to inject a little bit more of the context of my character's mind state into the monologue. I felt like my monologue was very present, and I feel like some monologues, like, you know, the characters even either talking about something that happened in their past, or something that they're looking forward to in the future, and mine's very based on the present moment at hand. And so I wish that I would have been able to inject a little bit more about Grant, the character's mind state, and where he was a little bit more, so that the presentness of the monologue had a little bit more effect. Thank you.
Hi, welcome back to Alphabet Superset. That was Miracle. He was the writer for this week's monologue. He was the first collaboration of many for this project. I acted his monologue. And here's 3 good things that I felt about the acting. 1, I liked the fidgeting of the hand and the anxiousness of the hand. It's something I've been told by a previous teacher named Dickin. Was that like there's just so much subtlety that you can put in like a tiny movement, and I felt like there was such an end to the character through the use of scratching his hand. 2, halfway through the monologue, he starts talking about this personified fear that he's staring at, and he can't like match up with himself. And I think I really did a really good job of having one eye line and then switching it to another eye line. I think usually in my monologues I like to keep it to one eye line, but for this one I think it required 2, and I think it worked well, because sometimes that comes off very theatrical, but in this monologue I think it kind of stays within the film world. 3, if you notice, the character's kind of more anxious, rigid in his acting until he gets to one part where he starts talking about the moon. I think at this point it's such a deep part for him, and it's a part where he's searching for like a hopelessness in his restlessness. And so I think that moment requires kind of a shift, and I placed the shift in kind of a steadiness when he talks about the moon. I think that was a good choice to bring it out more within the monologue. One bad thing about the acting, I think the anxiety was a cop-out. I think this character's a lot more thoughtful, and I think I pulled out the anxiety for this character a little too much. Going forward, I think kind of muting that a little bit and making and giving validity to every moment a little bit more will make its own monologue sound better, instead of it just being camouflaged through this like anxious paranoia. I think I went a little too far with the anxiety. Thank you so much for watching Alphabet Superset. We're going to be doing many more collaborations. I hope you stay around. Thank you so much for watching. And there'll be many more to come. Let's make bad art.